EFNL broadcast. Sorry, welcome listeners. Let me try that again. Take two. Welcome listeners to the EFNL broadcast of the East Burwood Croydon North clash. It is round 9. I can't believe it's gone through that quickly, but it is a top of the table clash today, and it is East Burwood to host Croydon North. As I said, I'm joined alongside Ryan Long here. How are you, Ryan?
Thanks, Trent. Massive game, as you said, Division 3. Both sides, had really phenomenal years so far. 7-0 for East Burwood, 6-1 for Croydon North. It's set up to be a really big game, and we'll touch on in a second of the last time these sides played. But I think since then, Croydon North have done a bit of recruiting and improved in form. And I think from earlier on in the year, we probably said it's, who's going to catch East Burwood? I think we know our answer, and today's a good chance to see if that happens or if East Burwood is still the team to beat.
Yeah, when you mentioned the fact that Croydon North have done some recruiting, one of those in particular, Laura Wright. She's done the number 71 today on debut, so looking forward to seeing her out on the big stage here.
Yeah, certainly. It's impressive, and both sides actually, what they've done, in such little time, to perform on and off the field. That you look at East Burwood, I believe this is their first season actually in the Eastern Footy League, so
Wow. Yeah.
which is pretty impressive to be 7-0 after just coming into the league and looking arguably a Div 2 side with the way they're going is really good. And they've got players like Sarah Jones, who has had 22 goals so far, been real dominant up forward. They don't have Baldassare today, who is one of their better players. She's kicked 18 goals in just the 3 games she's played this year. So that's maybe the big difference that they don't have from the last time they played. But still, both sides really strong lists.
Yep. So there's the goal kickers for East Burwood there, and on the other side of the ledger, we've got the two key forwards for Croydon North in Gabrielle Zapier and April Jeeves. They've combined for, what is that?
56 goals, I think.
Or plus 25, there you go.
It's a ridiculous stat, and you've seen in the last couple of weeks even more so of just how much they've been able to score heavily. They're both attacking sides, but Croydon North especially, if you look at their points for 594, a percentage of 690.70%, and they've only given up 86 points this season. So I think their biggest score against probably was the East Burwood game in round 2 or 3, or round 2 at Hughes Park, where they gave up 40. So take away that, they've only given up 46 points in a total of 7 games, which is more than impressive.
Yeah, it's offensively it's a daunting matchup, isn't it? I mean, 31 and 25 respectively. That's just an absurd number. It has to be some sort of typo, I think, Ryan.
Well, I mean, they've been just belting sides. I think they played Fair Park last week, and that was well over 100 points. They did a similar job on Coldstream not long ago. So clearly they've got those targets up forward that not only do they find the ball, but they can convert. And someone like Zapier also will spend a bit of time in the ruck. So it's really good when you have that sort of versatility of those players that can play those multiple positions and especially impact the scoreboard, which will be important today again.
Yeah, and how about the day we're having here? Melbourne has turned it on, certainly today, this Saturday morning. Blue skies.
We've been lucky the last couple of Saturdays. It hasn't been too bad weather-wise once the sun comes out. But, I mean, you said just before we went on air that you played a bit of cricket on this ground. What about the size of this? Because you would know it well. This is a pretty big ground, especially wide on both wings.
It is. It'll test our eyesight on that far side, but I've done some of my best work out here, Ryan.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Set me up there.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know how much of an advantage that will give East Burwood today. Obviously, they played at Hughes Park early in the season where they were able to win the Rams, but this is a really big ground. And I said on the Female Footy Focus podcast during the week that I was going to tip Croydon North in a bit of an upset, but I'll stick with it, because once you go with it, you've got to stick with it. But I think that if they do lose, it may be the fact of trying to adjust to this sort of ground. This is a really wide ground. It's you're going to be running a lot. It may suit their style of play, which would be which would be good, but it definitely will test them, which will make for an interesting contest.
I'm with you there. I don't mind tipping an underdog, and I'm certainly with Croydon North here in a bit of an upset. Hopefully to even the ledger, as they lost last time these two sides met. But our statisticians just informed us that 70% of the girls are playing footy for the first time in 2022. So
that's for the Rams. That's
for the Rams, there you go.
Yeah, really impressive. That I mean, it probably would have been coming into this as a year of just getting the girls used to the footy, enjoying the game, as it is in most levels. But they, I don't know how much of expectations they would have had to perform so well. So, to be 7-0 with a side that's really just getting to know each other and getting to know the game is really impressive. That how far they've come so far, and Croydon North are similar. I think 12 of their players have never played footy before, and obviously since then they've done a bit of recruiting. But at the start of the year, most of these girls hadn't played a game, which is incredible.
I might just have to interrupt you there, Ryan. That was tactical, I reckon. Croydon North.
They cut him off, did they?
It's a mind game, right? and they've got the upper hand at the moment. I'm not sure if you caught that. We caught that on camera, but Croydon North just waited patiently, and then
timed that right, didn't they?
And then pounced on East Burwood as they were running out of the race. So we mentioned pitch of perfect day at East Burwood Reserve, big ground.
Yep.
I think conserving energy will be a big factor late in the day, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
Probably speaks to how important it is to get off to a good start. And I think last time the games were really won in probably the second quarter, maybe the third as well, and especially on the back of Boulder kicking 3. So for Croydon North, if they can just be within it at half time, they'll be all the chance to go up and win. So we've just had the coin toss in the middle, which I believe Croydon North have won, and we'll be going to the right-hand side of the screen, the far end. That was Mahalia Bromfield, I believe the captain of Croydon North, if I'm not wrong. So East Burwood would be kicking to the left side of the screen in this first quarter.
There seems to be some sort of function on later today. We've got the dunk tank to our left of screen here, and balloons fluffing about in front of us. So
I believe it's their version of the Big Freeze. I think it's okay. For the MND.
And that'll explain the socks, Ryan. There you go.
Yes,
so both sides donning the blue Fight M&D socks,
which is a really great cause to see.
Worthy cause to raise awareness for sure. And just sorry if the pitch is a bit cut off by the balloons in front of us, but
I believe East Burwood are here later for the Templestowe game in the senior men, so could be a big day if you're in the area and want to head out to East Burwood Reserve and support a good cause and watch some footy. We're just moments away from starting the game as Croydon North make their way out.
So Croydon North exiting the huddle there. The Kangas.
Kanga Rams. Interesting.
Kanga Rams, I like it.
Big day for the club. Obviously, the men's senior side as well. The game of the round. So it's a big one. Their first time.
That one?
I think I'm special comments.
Special
for
comments.
That one, but
there you go. So you're stuck with the voice of Ryan Long today for the whole of your Saturday. I'll let you take it away, mate.
All right. So the umpire about to put the ball up in the air for the first bounce. Zappa in the ruck for Croydon North gets the first tap out against Matoli. And umpire's paid a free kick straight away, and it'll be going Croydon North's way. Croydon North will have the chance for the first inside 50 of the game. Right on that far side. Kicks towards to a large pack of players. Punched away there by O'Shanassy. And just soccer towards goal here for Croydon North. They're in a dangerous spot here. East Burwood defence under a lot of pressure. And just a bit of a scrap trying to get it forward. No real clear possession yet. A good tackle there. Strong tackle by for Hive. And we'll get a ball up not too far away from the Croydon North goal. It's a good start for them, pushing the board forward. Got a big chance here to make a statement early. The socket out from Mahone, out to O'Brien, and now East Burwood are out on the far side. The kick's going to be cut off by Laurie. She can get there first. She's got an opponent in Gills to beat. Handballed it out, and the umpire looks to have paid a free kick to East Burwood. I think that was in the back. So through Gills, chance to go forward for the Rams in front of Rowlands. Couldn't quite get it, and rolls out of bounds. So Croydon North will take possession of the ball.
So last possession rule will go the way of Croydon North here. So they look to drive it back down the line. Off hands it goes. At ground level, trying to fight for it there is Gretsch. On her hands and knees there. As East Burwood, or as Croydon North rather, look to clear by hand. They link up well, 1-2. And an off the ground soccer will dribble out. And it'll be the last possession rule going the way of Hudson. So majority of that play on that far side. Got the binoculars out. Here we go, pack forms. It'll be off hands again. We'll get a stoppage on that far side. So not really sure what to make of this opening couple of minutes here. It's been played between the arcs. East Burwood get the tap out through Mattioli. The ball just trickling about on that far side at ground level. We'll have another stoppage.
Might be an interesting one for scoring, especially does take a bit of time to get from one end to another. It's a bit of a scrap near the ball. Just trying to get a clear possession, Croydon North. And grab there, tackled. And a kick forward for Croydon North, but East Burwood do have a lot of numbers around the ball. They'll be first to pick it up. And the kick out is going to be cut off into the hands of the Croydon North forward. They just sort of try and clear it out now, get a bit of space in front of an opponent here. Picked up well. That was really well done there by Rock. And again, it's going to be turned over, and a chance now. East Burwood caught with the ball. Does a big tackle there for the Hive.
She's laid a couple, hasn't she?
Yeah, that was a really important one because she did seem to be off and running, Wilson. So now Croydon North a big chance. Zapier just pushed her opponent out. Couldn't quite take the mark though. And now clearing it, O'Shaughnessy. She's tackled and under a lot of pressure as it goes towards goal. Here's Edmondson. She's going to back herself here, but Zapier just picks up the ball and snaps it on the boot and gets the first. And that's how dangerous she is. And Croydon North kicked the all-important first goal, and we'll go to 1 straight 6. Rams yet to score.
Well, you give her an inch and she takes a mile and draws first blood here for Croydon North as they open their account with a major. So Zapier, what's that for the season?
I think that'd be about 32 off the top of my head, maybe a bit more even. She's kicked 36 actually on the Croydon North sheet here, so that'd be 37. But
we'll have to keep a running tally. She'd just about be leading the Coleman, and
I believe she is, yeah. So her and Jeeves are the top 2. And then not too far behind is Sarah Jones, East Burwood. As East Burwood now go forward, the kick's a good one. She's got an opponent in front who should be able to take the mark. That was Bromfield. She's tackled. A chance now through Gills. Takes it on. Kicks on the boot. Will it roll through? It does. And East Burwood a quick reply, and they get there first, and we'll go to 1 straight 6.
So Gills was putting the finishing touches on that centre clearance, and East Burwood level it up again. So 6 apiece here at East Burwood Reserve. Goal for goal here after a sort of a lull start. Starting to heat up here, this Div 3 contest. Round 9 it is. So Gills matching Zapier there. Back in the middle it is now. Off hands it travels. Trying to tap it forward there was East Burwood. They try and work on their hands and knees. Off the ground goes Mann. And likewise Laurie for the opposition there. She gets her kick forward now down the line. 1-on-1 contest. O'Shannessy wins out. She's got a teammate there and they link up by hand. High up and under forward. Standing underneath it well was the Croydon North defender. And she'll go through the corridor. So the shortest route home. Although collecting it well on the chest was the East Burwood defender, and she'll link up by hand with Mattioli. So running now. They've got a 1-on-1 contest and it lands in the lap of a leading forward for East Burwood. Jones it might have been. In the long sleeves, I like it. She's got options further afield now. And the mark's been taken there by Laurie, it might have been again. So the red dyed hair sticking out, Ryan.
Yeah, she's certainly been important so far. A couple of intercept marks as O'Brien takes the ball and kicks it inside 50 again, and standing under it was Strickland. And the defence is holding up pretty strongly so far. A long kick outside in the direction of Zappia, but it's turned over. The mark taken by an East Burwood player there who was tackled straight away with the ball.
Stiff not to be paid the mark there.
Not sure, did she play on there? No, I think it was O'Brien that. So as the East Burwood go forward again, they've got a lot of pace in that side. Kicks towards their intended target, and it is paid the mark. Danielle Gills, and she's played on immediately and kicked the goal. And East Burwood have their second, 2 straight 12. The Kangaroos just a 1 straight 6.
So Gills nails her second in quick succession.
Wasted no time.
Ryan was
looked
caught
down
out
for a second and she'd kicked it.
She caught Ryan out looking at his page, looking at his notes, and she played on quickly and caught the Croydon North defenders off guard as well.
Well, it's been their trademark, how quick they are. They want to move the ball on every time they get the ball, where I think Croydon North may be a bit more methodical when they have possession. As O'Brien gets a hand pass out in the direction of a teammate in Wilson. Croydon North got some numbers around the ball. Antonilus. And their kick is cut off. And now O'Brien again almost got a possession there for East Burwood. As they track the ball going forward. The handball out. They could be on. Here's Wilson. Handball back. Almost hits Mayon. But it's caught up, and Laurie again really impressive back there. As they look to get something through Rock. The kick forward. It's a 1-on-1 contest. Handballed it straight away. Can throw it onto the boot, Rollins. And Rollins does exactly that. And the Rams now have 3 straight 18. Croydon North 1 straight 6.
Wow, blinking, you'd miss it. Superb by hand there to link up on the outer. And how about the kick too to match? Straight through the middle. They've been impressive and accurate.
Certainly have. They just seem to move the ball so quickly. Their hands off and they link up really well.
Had a wave of runners on that occasion, and a 2-goal buffer's created. So back in the centre we are now. East Burwood with all the ascendancy. After the first Kangas goal, it'll be a free kick going the way of the ruckman Zappia. She's got one to her name already, although great smothers applied there by the opposing ruckman in O'Shannessy. And she'll follow up her good work at ground level. Going the opposite direction, and oh no. It was McIntyre, it was. She was in two minds, running the opposite direction, and a good tackle was applied there. So East Burwood at centre half forward it sits. Croydon North will try and exit. Thrown out of there, and the umpire was quick to it as well. So it'll go the way of Gretsch there. She's got options on this broadcasting side wing, and reading it well was Antonellis. She leads the race to the footy, although bumped off it by Casamento. They fight for it at ground level with Zappia on the bottom of the pack again, getting her hands and knees dirty. As our view's sort of obstructed by the coach's box here. I'll let you I'll let you talk through it, Ryan.
The umpire's given a free kick here to East Burwood. So through the hands of Casamento on the broadcast side. Her kick goes down line to a large pack of players. Spoiled there by Gretsch. No one can pick it up quite cleanly yet. And looked like a holding free there against Croydon North. So they again continue to make up ground, East Burwood.
Yeah, we mentioned the big factor of a fast start. And East Burwood have certainly got that today.
Certainly right. Looks the play on, and she's caught with the ball. And
oh my God.
And almost a bit of a sling, but good to see she is okay. So
it was Gretsch, it was. The dumping, slinging tackle. She'll drive it back down the line again. Zappy is there to contest. As my guess is as good as yours as to what's happening in front of that coach's box. Gretsch involved again. She'll link up with Zappia by hand. And off a standing start, she goes further afield down the line. Although East Burwood is setting up the wall well, and they try and exit back from whence it came. Trying to tap it into the path of her teammate was Collegia there for Croydon North. And the whistle's been blown. Free kick going the way of East Burwood.
Again on this. Broadcast. So couldn't towards the boundary line. Laurie there for Croydon North. Now their defence is under a bit of pressure. The kick forward there in front of Jones.
They're going to run out of time here.
And the siren, you're right, is about to sound. So, an entertaining first quarter in the end. And as the scoreboard's updated, the Rams will take a 9-point lead into quarter time. 3 straight 18 to 139. Is that right, Trent?
It's more than that. I'm confident.
It did seem they had another behind on the board, but that's what the scoreboard is reading at the moment. So for the moment, we'll go with that as the Rams take a 9-point lead into quarter time. Welcome back to East Burwood Reserve for this round 9 clash between East Burwood and Croydon North-MLOC, both on top of the ladder. East Burwood 7-0 and Croydon North 6-1. Trent, interesting first quarter. Rams take a 8-point lead, as the scoreboard says now. It's changed a couple of times on us. But an interesting one. Croydon North certainly had their chances.
The scoreboard's keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. But yeah, Rams, their accuracy in front of goal is, well, it is obviously the reason they're in front at the moment. But Kangas will be ruining their missed chances, no doubt.
Yeah, certainly. So certainly in it, it was sort of probably that middle section that the Rams had complete control and really, ran with the ball, used it well. The linking up, and then probably the start and the end, Croydon North probably had their chances. So if they can convert a few more,
Yep, they did.
We've got a really good game on our hands.
They certainly did their best late in that quarter to sort of wrestle back a bit of momentum as we wait for the siren to play out here. All sorts of pointing going on. There might be a 666 sort of infringement. There you go. So East Burwood level up with 4 in the midfielders. The ball's tossed aloft again. So here we go. The second term underway. Trying to fight for it there is Collegia. Called her name a few times today. Lying on her back trying to shovel it out there was Bascom. The ball's sort of pushed through, although trying to burst through traffic there was Marn. She's been in the action to date. So it's locked up there with Rock. And we'll have another stoppage, gaining all of 2 or 3 metres the way of East Burwood, kicking to the right of screen.
So here's a chance. Almost got her hands out there, Gretsch did. And now they're off through Laurie. She got a long kick on her towards her teammate and Antonis. Towards the boundary line, she's beaten there. Well done by Wilson, who did well and kicked it forward, but again cut off by Laurie.
Pollock it was.
Is Pollock over there? Is it the kick forward towards half forward, but again the Rams are able to clear it out. That was Rowlands. And falls into the hands of a teammate here. Well, that was O'Brien. Oh, geez, mate, just rolling itself. It's going to get there. Don't tell me. It's there. That's gone over 4 players. Was that outside 50?
It was outside.
I can't believe that's gone through.
Outside 70, Ryan.
Jesus.
O'Brien, it might have been number 8 there. Keep you updated on that, but a long
It's about
range,
70. I think you're right. That
long range bomb sort of just tumbled through it, bounced all sorts of ways, and through it went.
We had 4 players there, two one-on-one contests, and the ball just seemed to beat all 4 of them over the top. Incredible.
It's the goal of the day leader at the moment. Back in the centre it sits now. As the Rams continue their unblemished start, if that's a word. 4 straight, 24, playing 1-4-10. I can't promise you that scoreboard's correct, but we move on. So back it sits here at centre half forward for East Burwood. This stacks on sort of style. We'll have another ball up. So tossed high again. Bascom's there to try and contest in the ruck. You throw a blanket over 20 of them. That's centre half forward for East Burwood. We'll get another ball up. So umpires, I think they keep again today. Tossed up again, same spot. The ball just bubbling about still. Off the ground goes Croydon North. And again. So she's had a couple of efforts there. And again. So there's 3. Playing the wrong sort of ball game here. The ball's just bubbling about still. No player wanting to take clear possession. Although trying to burst through and picking up in the process there was O'Shaughnessy. She tries to drive through along with Rock. We'll have another stoppage, or in fact a free kick.
Yes, yep. So Ruby Rock, as they plenty of the ball early, goes towards their half forward line. Mark almost taken there by Gills. But again, Croydon North have got some numbers around the ball. Van der Westhuizen kicks towards the boundary line. And we can't quite see here from our angle as the ball is out of bounds. I believe it'll be a East Burwood free kick.
I think that's been the difference in the 2 sides there. We just saw that play on this broadcasting side wing. Croydon North just tapping it forward, gaining territory, and that's all good and well. But it was the East Burwood player in Rock who tried to drive through, put her head in the hole, and and won the free kick in the process. So back down the line it goes. Broadcasting side wing, as we mentioned, an inboard ball on the diagonal here. Sits on the centre wing side. Body's just piling on top. The tackler there was Anton Nellis. Bit of a mouthful there. She claimed Pollock. So it's tapped forward again. There's number 16, Wilson it is. Tries to drive through and she's caught in the process. A free kick going the way of Vander Westhazen, I believe.
As the ball goes onto the far side now.
Sorry, Ryan.
Almost lost my team sheet. There's a player there caught. I believe that was Rowlands, or Rowlands, if you like to pronounce that. There's a ball up just outside of East Burwood's forward half. They've started well in this second term, the 14-point lead, as they hold up play with the tackle there. They probably, you're right, they've earned more free kicks, and that's probably just because they've been first to the ball and head over the footy, as again Gretsch just bursts through the pack and kicks it forwards. Cut off, Casamento under pressure, and the good tackle there by Croydon North are able to recover possession. Gretsch again does a lot of, her work rate's incredible to get to that contest. As a player there caught by the ball, which gives Croydon North probably their first real chance to go inside 50 for the quarter. Takes their time, lets some of her teammates get back down there. The kick to the pack, got some plays to beat. Falling for it is Nyberg. Almost gets there, but East Burwood are able to get the handball out. They're still under a lot of pressure. They're not out of here yet. Now in towards the direction of Zapier. She pick it up cleanly. Did really well there, the East Burwood defender, Edmondson. Almost got away with it. And the kick forward there, bouncing towards goal. Zapier is going to run onto it. She can kick off the ground. She does. And it's gone through for a goal. Zapier has her second, and the Kangaroos second. They go to 2-4-16, trailing the Rams 4 straight 24.
So the long kick came into the hot spot, and as soon as Zapier it was ducked back inboard, you could almost pencil that in.
I certainly think if you can get her out one-on-one in the forward 50, isolate her there, she's almost certainly going to score.
Game over.
Yeah, she's that good of a player.
Certainly a matchup that East Burwood will have to keep an eye on.
Currently,
O'Shaughnessy's got their job on her.
Who's played really well so far this quarter too.
So back in the centre, Mattioli wins the hit out there. And East Burwood will try and win the clearance. Wilson's there and amongst it. There's a ball just bubbling about now. Squirts out the way of Jessica it is. And tackled there on her hands and knees. Was that player in Jessica. So Mattioli again in the ruck. Wins the hit out. No real advantage though the way of East Burwood. We'll have another ball up. So tossed aloft here again. Mattioli to do battle with Bascom in the ruck. There's a free kick's been picked out. Pointing the way of Croydon North. So they've got another opportunity to go forward once more. Broadcasting side wing she heads. Cutting off that 45 ball at ground level there. With their slick hands, releases her teammate there. Though the mark was paid, although the decision was overturned as Zapier goes off the deck again. Twice she did. Anton Ellis is there, along with the opposing player in right on debut. So first real sign of Laura Wright in the action there as East Burwood look to exit. One-on-one contest, though the numbers will favour Croydon North as they look to help out. Rock's there trying to step through traffic, and caught in the process was her teammate that she dished off to, and a great tackle applied there. Didn't pick up a name there, or number rather. So Croydon North drive it forward, and it's all Antonellos. Had a name written all over it. She takes a good chest mark in that long sleeve Guernsey, Ryan.
Certainly. You like the long sleeve?
Big fan, big fan. So this will test her. Seems confident walking back, although spots up a teammate, sends a high up and under, just sits it on her head of Gretch. And she has to win a 1-on-5, which just was a task too hard to overcome, although Croydon North will try and send it back from whence it came. Laurie's there. She's been solid in that sweeping role. She's been a real link-up player on that defensive half.
Certainly has. She's been one of the best this season for Croydon North, and sometimes those defenders go a bit underrated, but she'd just about be close to being best on field at the moment as, again, they try and get going forward, but East Burwood have really clogged up this back line with numbers. They've got a couple of players out on one-on-one matchups if they can just get a kick forward. The handball there's cut off. Now East Burwood get a clearing kick, but falls into the hands of Gretch again. Kicks it forward into the direction of Zapier. Almost falls over, but recovers well. Taps it forward to a teammate. And if they can just get her hands out here, they do, through the hands of Jeeves. Her kick is cut off. And now Antolis, handball off, cut off. And we might get a ball up here. Nothing seems to be coming out. Good pressure by the East Burwood defence.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the tackling pressure.
Yep. So ball up.
It's been hard but fair.
Certainly was. Still in a dangerous spot here. Or tackled almost without the ball. The kick forward towards goal. It's not going to be too far on the right side and look to be out of bounds on the full. So East Burwood will take possession of the ball.
Through Edmondson it is. So left back pocket rather. She looks to try and exit with a low drilling ball. Off hands it is. There was Nolan. Tries to link up by hand with their teammate who tries to get a kick forward. Tried to manufacture it, wasn't there, and we'll have another ball up. So East Burwood defending grimly here. Croydon North have a real opportunity to snag another here and draw closer. It's a one-on-one contest with Zapier here. We mentioned she wins majority of these. She tries to do it herself. She's got a teammate there. Although she tries to wheel around, link up play doesn't come off as O'Shaughnessy holds up well, and look at her go. She clears down the line. And they've got a 2-on-1 here. She gets a handball to herself and then follows up her good work. That was O'Brien. So end-to-end stuff here for East Burwood as Jones gets on the end of this. She'll go off the ground. This is transition play at its best. Jones again tries to step through traffic and balk her way clear. Although off her flying shot will dribble off target through for a minor score. So end-to-end stuff.
That was really impressive the way they moved that ball down the broadcast side.
And kudos
Just to link it up and
kudos to O'Shaughnessy. Zapier was off the leash and she did well to fight back and recover that ball and create the turnover.
So now East Burwood back inside 50. The kick was cut off. But Croydon North are able to clear it out now through Khalija. She couldn't quite take the mark. Now she's under a lot of pressure. Two East Burwood players there to tackle her as the umpire looks to be giving a free kick, I think in the direction of the Rams. No, in the Croydon North, sorry. Or the Kanga Rams. So they take possession on the far side. They lead by 9 points in what's been a really good game so far. Both sides have had their chances. Here's, again, Laurie. Clears it out. She's got a long kick on her, but it's towards the boundary line. I don't think anyone got near that, so looks like it will be a East Burwood possession. Emma Pollock on the far side. They've steadied after Croydon North had a bit of the possession there for a good 5 minutes. Now they have their chances going forward. The kick off the ground rolls out of bounds, and it will be Natalie Laurie who takes it for Croydon North.
So a bit of a stalemate at the moment here. apart from that free-flowing possession on this broadcasting side wing, end-to-end stuff as we mentioned. It's been majority played in the wings at the moment. Last couple of minutes as we tick closer to the 5-minute warning.
You can certainly see how both these sides have been able to pull apart some opposition teams just by the way they move the ball and how they link up, and probably their hardest time to do it is today because they've both play a similar sort of style of footy.
And that's just East Burwood as well, accustomed to this home ground advantage. They know it well and they play it well. So here we go again, fighting on the deck. East Burwood and Rams lock it up. So the ball will be tossed up again. Trying to spin away out of traffic there was McIntyre. They go off the deck, gaining all of 15. So centre wing it sits. A big focus on gaining territory as an off-the-ground soccer in this case doesn't work for Van der Westhuizen. Zappi is there to try and follow up, although it's O'Brien who drives it forward to a one-on-one contest, and winning out there was the Croydon North defender in Nolan, it might have been. She tries to follow up and apply a tackle on number 23 for East Burwood in Marn. A free kick's been picked out, going the way of the Rams, so they'll get an opportunity to drive it back inside forward 50 and extend their lead here. So the ball's bounced off the chest of number 9 in Gills, and she's been paid a free kick in the marking contest. So
she did well to get front position, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Unguarded though, it has to be said. She just stood in front spot, didn't have to work for it. So she calmly walks in, sends her ball nice and long and straight, and it bounces through, sailed over the pack on the square, on the goal square that was, and she nails the Rams 5th. So they extend their lead.
They're second for the day.
5-1-31 plays 2-4-16 here at East Burwood Reserve. The home side running away with it at the moment.
Will be an important last 3.5 minutes here for the Kangaroo Rams just to stay in it. Wouldn't want another goal going East Burwood's way before the halftime siren. Be a hard margin to get back as they hit the ball forward. And almost there, recovered it. The kick out by Mahone, and it's cut off. Van der Westhuizen kicks towards the broadcast side. It's Gresh again running onto it. She's been everywhere. The kick forward. They can get a mark here. They do. Well taken. And Tonis got Gretch open, showed her the ball. Kick forward and hits up a target. Almost taken. Dropped there. Diazdos. Sort of just taps it forward. I know I muddled up that name. And caught there in the tackle.
Geez, how about Antonolos just selling the candy to her teammate? I certainly bought it.
I thought she was getting the hands off as East Burwood try and clear it out, but doesn't go far for Hive. Kicks towards a one-on-one contest. Did well there. Was G's. Couldn't quite pick it up though. And East Burwood again. That last line of defence has held up all morning. Casamento there. Been able to stop her opponent. There's the Ruby Rock there with the tap out. And doesn't go far. Slips out the back, and now East Burwood can be out if it gets past Gretch. Got Laurie to beat as well. And they do really well. There's O'Brien with the handball forward. She may collect her own handball, but instead it's cut off. Oh, good tackle. Run down from behind, and that's holding the ball.
Tackle of the day there, I reckon. The umpire in best
was.
view.
That was Bronte Rowlands. Just great pressure and stopped in a certain inside 50. She goes down the line, but Croydon North have got numbers everywhere. And Laurie, who takes about her 8th intercept mark this morning already, kicks forward, and this time now Matoli stands her ground. Not long to go in this last term. A minute left. as the kick's cut off. Now through Gresh. Goes forward. 2-on-2. Bounced off the chest of an East Burwood player here. They handball forward. And they survive a bit of an onslaught from Croydon North. They just try to edge forward in the middle of the ground at the moment. Either side can score from here. Just trying to get some ground. Now through Springett. Amatoli, my apologies. Goes forward. Almost looked to be wanting the free kick there. And a good tackle by Rowlands. Holds the play up with 15 seconds left in this second quarter. So ball up. They just try and edge. Can they get one last one? Would really hurt Croydon North here. But they're going to run out of time, you'd imagine, as the siren sounds for the half-time here at East Burwood Reserve. Rams 5-1-31 to the King Rams 2-4-16, Trent.
Yeah, no, certainly, I know the scoreboard wouldn't suggest, but it does feel an evenly poised affair at the moment. Just want to touch on, I was watching Gretsch closely there towards the latter stages of that second term. She has got a 30 to 40 metre bomb on both feet.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Uses both feet, Ryan.
You would have to say, out of the 12 players who've never played footy before, you'd have to say she has played before because she's a really talented player. But looking at the sides, you would think these girls have been playing together for more than a year, a lot longer, because both sides have been very impressive, both controlled the games at certain points. So does lead to a pretty interesting second half, especially if the Kangaroos can kick the first or the third. But we will be back after half-time here at East Burwood Reserve for the Deakin University match of the round between East Burwood and Croydon North. It's the Rams currently 5-1-31, leading the Kangaroos 2-4-16. Welcome back to East Burwood Reserve for the EFNL Deakin University match of the round. It's the East Burwood Rams against Croydon North-MLOC in a top-of-the-table battle between the two sides in Division 3. Currently at half-time, it's the Rams 5-1-31 who lead the Kangaroo Rams 2-4-16. What's been a pretty interesting first half here. I'm Ryan Long and I'm joined again by Trent Cullen. Trent, been an interesting first half, and probably both sides have had momentum at time. Can you see Croydon North coming back from this, or is this probably maybe the chance is blown?
I can. It'll take their best effort for sure. Obviously, playing on the road in front of away fans, it doesn't help. But not sure the mind games are quite working for for the Kangas here. They left East Burwood outstanding in their position again. Yep. So their tactics.
Not afraid to
one to keep an eye on anyway.
Not afraid to do things on their terms, that's for sure. But you can certainly see why both sides are clear above the rest of the division at the moment on first and second on the ladder. They're both playing some really quality football.
So we've got Laurie late to her position, and I think they'll wait for the ball to be bounced, although
she's running out now.
Not sure why she needed to enter through the interchange section, but anyway.
She's going, so they've moved it to the middle,
okay,
which is interesting because she's certainly had a really impressive first half. As the ball's thrown up in the middle, Zapier with the tap out, and the handball to the side. I hope that music isn't being caught by the broadcast as they go to the far side, kick off the boot, try to just get it forward. Now into the hands of Bromfield. Her kick got a bit of distance on it and lands into the hands of a teammate who passes off straight away, looking for Van der Westhuizen. The kick forward through Collegia in front of Zapier. Oh, got a hand to it but couldn't quite pick it up. And well done again by the East Burwood defence, who for this first half have really stood up strong, because Croydon North have certainly had their chances. So they've kept them to just 2 goals, which is something they haven't been used to.
Yep, I think O'Shaughnessy's won that matchup so far.
Yeah, certainly have.
Don't want to speak too soon, but
she's done her job early, hasn't she?
I'm not sure what music you were talking about there, Ryan, anyway.
As the ball goes forward. It's trapped in there. Handball's out into the hands of Gretsch. Snaps onto the boot. And that's a beautiful kick. That's through the middle. And that's the one they needed. They moved to 3-4-22. Trailing the Rams by 9 points, 5-1-31. And that was a beautiful kick. And the hands off too was just as good from Antonellis.
So Gretsch it was again. We commented on her before the main break, and she used one of her 2 feet.
Yeah.
Obviously, but she's sort of ambidextrous in that field.
Yeah, she can kick as well as she can on both feet. So that's a big start for the Kangas, and they definitely needed it.
That would have been a big focus that the coach would have been speaking about during halftime, getting that first goal, that all-important first goal, and it goes the way of the Kangas, so they narrow the margin. So Zapier wins the hit out. It'll go the way of Collegia at ground level, trying to scrap for it and wrestle it back there, and doing well there was the Croydon North midfielder in Flahive it was, and free kick's been picked out.
I think it's a throw on the ball.
Throw on the ball, okay. Bit stiff. Anyway, it heads to this broadcasting side wing. East Burwood win the race, although fighting back there was Van der Westhuizen. And the kick down the line again to a 1-on-1. Gretsch is there again. She uses her right boot to dribble it forward. It'll bounce into the path of her teammate. And O'Shaughnessy's there to mop up the mess for East Burwood. Deep inside, defensive 50. They link up well by hand, although the kick's dribbled forward all of 5 or so metres. Shoveled out only as far as Gretsch. She sends a high arcing ball on her left foot.
Oh.
It falls through the arms of Zapier, although she's good enough to recover at ground level, and sends her right foot ball dribbling through. So the Kangas with 2 in 2 minutes. And Zapier it was. We mentioned the matchup, the pivotal matchup with O'Shanassy there. I think she may just nudge clear.
Well, it's goal
Zappia.
number 3. And how about Gretch? She's just been... We talked about her in the first half, and again this second half, she's starting to really start to impact this game now. Every time the ball's in her area, she'll win it. She's very quick. She can move around, and she has such a long kick on her. So the kick was just in the perfect position for Zappia, who, although didn't take the mark, was able to control the ball, and their second efforts ended up in a goal as they look to clear it again through the midfield. Cut off. O'Brien for East Burwood gets the ball in the boot towards her teammate in Gills. Megan Gills, that is, but cut off, and now Laurie clears it forward. Croydon North with all the momentum at the moment. Kick forward into the hands of Jeeves, who just pushes her opponent aside in Edmondson. Still has the ball, controlled it almost, but rolled through for a behind, so they go to 4-5-29. Trail just by 2 points. Around 5-1-31.
This is just what the doctor ordered, if you're a fan of the blue and white here.
Well, this is probably the margin we expected at half-time, just based on how the game went. Croydon North probably just didn't take their opportunities in the first half, and they've started off on fire in this third quarter as Eastfield would go to the far side. They're under a lot of pressure now. Just need to slow the game down for a couple of minutes and get a bit of control back. They're caught again. Laurie there to the tackle, who moved into the midfield to start this quarter.
Well said. All about control. Just biding a bit of time off the clock as Laurie looks to drive it further afield. Inside 50 it travels. Trying to tap it forward there might have been Jeeves. The quick kicks manufactured there. So we've got Gretch at full forward. She applies a slinging tackle on the opposition player, the East Burwood defender it was. It affected her hands on the exit. The ball's still bubbling about there. Gretch will send it forward again. Looks on target. Has it got the distance? Oh, goal of the day. Gretch it was. That's quite remarkable, Ryan.
Geez, you just did so well. You knew you called it with the one-on-one in the forward half there. You knew that was a bit trouble for the Rams, and she just, as soon as she just controls the ball, she can throw it on the boot so quickly and so accurately.
No, she's certainly stamped her.
There's been a couple
class.
of contenders for goal of the day already, hasn't there? That I still can't get over O'Brien's goal in that first half as well, but that's got to be a contender.
She's certainly stamped her class on today's match, and in the words of James Brayshaw, she's taking the piss.
She is.
So back in the centre it sits there. Laurie, that's been a big move, getting her in the midfield and Gretch forward.
Yes. I like the
so the major ball winners,
makers.
the major ball winners for Croydon North having an impact in the early stages of this third term. There's a good tackles applied there by Rollins of the Holly variety. Laurie's there again to drive it further afield again. Off hands it spills. Gretch at ground level in amongst it. Linking up there by hand, although a free kick's been picked out. Has the advantage been taken? If so,
it'll be coming back.
I think the goal umpire wanted it too, because he was quick to smother that and rush it through. But it'll go the way of, is it Jeeves?
Yeah, it is Jeeves.
Number 15 in April Jeeves. So, well, I was going to say that it'd be to take the lead, but they've already done that. This will be to extend it. If she can kick this through, looks to fall short, and it's off target anyway, so a minor score, and just hoping inaccuracy doesn't come back to bite them, because we know these women's matches are tended decided in, well, they swing in roundabouts, don't they, with momentum.
Yep.
So
the kick here, cut off now. Van der Westhuizen couldn't take the mark, but she did well her second efforts to tackle and hold the ball up.
the kick out duties there. Not sure who had it, but it seemed to favour Van der Westhuizen on the lead.
Certainly did.
Hit her up nicely.
They're in real dangerous territory here. Another one would really hurt. As Gretch just clears it forward, the kick socket off to Antonalis. Kicked onto the boot. Over the top of everyone and through. Antonellis, my apologies, kicks another one. And they're out to an 11-point lead, Trent. 6-6-42 to Rams, 5-1-31. And they are well and truly in control. Antonellis
Anything else
That's
it
right.
was. You'd have to see this to believe it. Not sure quite anyone would have expected this quite the turnaround in this fashion.
Well, that's 4 goals in 8 minutes.
Class certainly coming to the fore here. Prevailing at the moment are the Kangas. They just look to bounce clear again. So back in the centre it sits again with Flahive to do the ruck duties. She'll follow up her good work at ground level with Laurie applying a tackle on O'Brien. They just can't. They've got no space to work with, the East Burwood midfielders here. Centre clearance numbers certainly in one favour. As the ball's trickling about now, Flahive's there again. So the big ruckman getting on her hands and knees as the ball's trickling about still. Rocks in amongst it.
Big test for East Burwood because I don't think they've ever been in this sort of position this year. So they're under pressure. As the ball goes forward, this is their first chance for the quarter. And well tackled by Bromfield. Or by Hunter, apologies. And they hold it up. So a ball up inside 50. Their first real look at a score this quarter. Tapped out. Croydon North have got some numbers here if they can clear it out. Turned over. Now East Burwood, they really have to get one back here. Going for the ball was Rowlands. Didn't quite beat it.
Understatement of the century there, Ryan.
Yep, and as it goes towards the far side, Nolan did well, but East Burwood are able to get it going forward. Jones is in the area, and she might just be able to push her opponent aside and pick up the ball. She does. Kicks it forward. It's not going to roll through for a goal. It's a one-on-one contest if they're going to try and win it here or rush it through. The tackle holds that East Burwood player up, but I probably would have rathered a rush behind.
Looked higher from this angle, but the umpire in best view had other ideas, so he'll ball it up 10 metres out at the mouth of the East Burwood goals. As Croydon North look to exit only as far as Roland, who already has one to her name. Can she add to that? No. Off target, it sails through for a minor score.
She puts herself in a lot of good positions, Rollins.
That's
one of the two.
Bronte Rollins, so it's a family affair for this East Burwood side. A couple of pairs of sisters. So Laurie again standing in the hole, takes a good mark on her chest. She's been dominant in this early stages, or for the majority of the day rather. And so is Gretch. It's through her hands. And at ground level they'll fight. O'Shaughnessy's there, and she's been pinged rather unluckily in the process with Vander Westhuizen applying the tackle, so she'll drive it through the corridor. And it's Zapier there on the run. Her flying shot just fans right, as we've seen so often today. Another minor score, so the Kangas, the inaccuracy hasn't cost them yet, but
she would have loved that position. Yeah, she would have loved that position out the back. She's a smart footballer and who could tell it was going over the top of everyone and ran onto it. The kick, the clear out is cut off, and there she is. Zapier takes the intercept mark and will take a shot at goal here. She's already got 3.
So with a chance to make amends.
Yep, as she goes forward, the kick will be a bit short, and I think will bounce over the line on the left side.
Some sort of barrel or spiral forward really. It was.
She only got onto it. There's the ball up. Croydon North have already kicked 4 this quarter. The kick out, it's not going to go as far as Gretch cuts it off, and now we have a set shot here directly in front, about, it looks about 35 out.
And Ryan, I've just penciled this in.
Yeah.
And I've got pen.
Don't give her the miles that she's kicked 2 already this quarter. This will be for goal number 3. She's just been one of the few players who have turned this game around this quarter. Off the boot, it's going to fall short, and it lands into a teammate's hand. That's Jeeves. It was in the right spot. She's on a tough angle. Might have to change who you pencil that in for, Trent. There's Jeeves on the boundary line.
Made the mistake of writing it in with pen.
Hasn't got a major to her name, but she's certainly had a lot of the ball as she just slots it through the middle. The drop punt was beautiful, and they are on fire. They've kicked 5 in the quarter, and they now take a 17-point lead, 7-7-49 to the Rams, 5-2-32.
Well, she was nonchalant in her approach and seemed to just tap it through, Ryan.
I like that. I like the drop punt. Everyone wants to snap it on the boot from that sort of angle, but I think it takes a lot more talent to a drop punt like that to put it through on a tough angle.
So Jeeves there, she received from Gretsch it was, and was up to the task on that, tucked up against the boundary there. There's a 6-6-6 decision's been picked out. It'll go the way of Croydon North again. So
everything going their way at the moment.
East Burwood can't put a foot right at the moment, although it might just be a warning. The umpire doesn't seem to be aware of what's happening behind
Not
him.
sure what happened there.
Anyway, Zapier has it. She'll look to burst clear, and a free kick's been picked out. Holding the ball it was. Can't quite picture who that is. It'd be nice if she could turn her back to us. Anyway, she fans it wide. On that far outer side wing, she's got Marn in company. The ball just squirting about now. As Croydon North look to exit down the line. Spilling it there was Wilson. Going off the deck there. Springing it was. As Zapier out the back again. She's had loads of space to work with.
Again, that's I think about the third time they scored. She just uses her body to push aside her opponents and get on the goal side, which is giving her a few chances at goal.
So there's no debating that Zapier off the leash is probably the reason why the Kangas have put on this lead and so quickly.
As East Burwood, under a lot of pressure, they need at least one goal here before three-quarter time. We're probably saying the opposite at half-time. The Kanga Rams kicked 5 goals, 5 unanswered goals this quarter to build a 17-point lead. And there's still a chance for another as they stay inside 50 as the ball towards the boundary line. East Burwood keep it in and kick it far. Laurie's there, but instead the boundary line will beat everyone. That looks to be on the full. So Natalie Laurie, another one of the Croydon North's most important players. She has a chance to put the ball up to the top of the square, getting back there. Look, almost Spring Get was back by herself, but the ball seemed to beat the line, so it seemed to beat her as it rolled through for a behind. 7-8-50 to the Rams 5-2-32. 3-goal lead.
Croydon North just have this happy knack of putting themselves in the most dangerous of positions. Springing it was on that occasion. The ball bounced unkindly out of reach and minor score it was, although standing tall there was Marn. She's been amongst East Burwood's best. As Rock likewise fights for it at ground level. They try and link up by hand on that outer side wing. In front of that light tower at scoreboard side. So what can the Rams muster up to sort of draw this lead to a manageable fourth quarter task as the ball's kicked further afield? Spring it's there again. It's a 2-on-2 contest at ground level there. Body's just falling all over the joint, and it'll go the way of East Burwood held without it there. So she'll look to drive it back from whence it came. A long ball to a forming pack. It'll sail over the head. O'Brien's in amongst it. Off the ground goes Laurie, it might have been. And the ball may in fact trickle out, although doing well there to keep it in play there was the East Burwood defender. Keeping it alive there for Rowland, it might have been. There's an off the ground soccer in the opposite direction there for East Burwood. And applying a good tackle there was Flahive. Her pressure axe has been one to notice here. Flahive does battle in the ruck again. Laurie sends it forward, a touch ball off hands. Spilling the mark there was Casamento. Haven't called her name a hell of a lot today. Gretsch goes off the deck. and into the face of Casamento. So a Falcon there. And East Burwood have all the numbers. They look to exit. So Croydon North setting up the wall well. Laurie's there. Big hip and shoulder applied there. Number 38, Nyberg it was. Jamie it was. There, and it's off hands there. Zapier unable to complete the mark. Gretsch on the outer. And if it gets through, Croydon North are in business.
Oh.
Big hip and shoulder. And Van der Westhuizen can go off the deck. I've sort of hogged this call, Ryan. It's never ending. Standing on the last line of defence to defend there well. Although Van der Westhuizen, from a standing start with an opportunistic snap, straight over the goal umpire's head.
They just kept pushing the ball forward. East Burwood defence, they have been all right.
I need a breather.
But they have certainly been under a lot of pressure, Trent. It isn't a goal actually. So well, that was the touchdown mark. So no goal there, as they look to clear out on the broadcast side through the hands of Rowlands.
Made a meal of that.
Handball now Croydon North. Good tackle, good pressure, and just dropping it there. That was a well-needed tackle. They're under a lot of pressure. So now on to the wing. Only about 20 seconds left. Important not to give up another one. It's been a 5-goal quarter from Croydon North. And the kick off the ground looked to be in danger. They look to be just out of time. 7 seconds left. Can they get a mark? They need a mark if they're any chance. They almost taken. Slipped through the hands of Van der Westhuizen. But what a quarter, Trent. The Kangaroo Rams 7-9-51 will take a 19-point lead over the East Burwood Rams 5-32. A 5-goal quarter.
It's impressive. We speak about the third quarter being the premiership quarter. And for it's a top of the table clash here. It's some sort of grand final preview it might be.
Yep.
In the Div 3 comp. But certainly class prevailing there for Croydon North. And you'd be stoked if you're sitting at home listening to us on a Saturday morning hearing that the Kangas have kicked clear rather.
Yep.
And take a 19-point lead into the last quarter.
Certainly will be. We'll be looking forward to this last quarter of action. As we said, a 19-point lead for Croydon North as we go to a short break for the round 9 EFNL Deakin University match of the round. Welcome back to East Burwood Reserve for the EFNL Deakin University match of the round. What a quarter there by the Croydon North Football Club. They kicked 5-0 goals in that third quarter and now take a 19-point lead, 7-9-51 to the East Burwood Rams, 5-2-32. Trent, a bit of a surprise there. They did have patches of dominance in the first half, but certainly wasn't expecting that sort of display.
I'm still trying to come to grips as to what I just laid my eyes on during that third quarter. Croydon North just completely dominated in every aspect of the game. They won the centre clearance and they didn't look back from there, did they?
Yeah, and they certainly, I don't think East Burwood have been in this spot all year, so it's a big test for them. That I don't think they've been in trailing at three-quarter time from memory. So a big task for them just to be able to hang with a Croydon North side at the moment who is on fire and just putting their defence under a lot of pressure.
As we just wait for the siren here, mark the start of the last quarter. Umpire still holding it aloft. So here we go. What can East Burwood do as a way of a response here? Can they answer the call? Back in the middle it sits here. Quick to blow the whistle there. No real prior given, so Zappia to do battle in the ruck again with Mattioli. It's been a sort of even ruck duel, it has to be said,
Yep.
but Croydon North midfielders getting their hands on it more. The ball just squirting about here. We haven't gained any meterage either way. It'll be a ball up. That centre square, or the centre square again. So that patch of grass getting to work out. So tossed high again. This time Mattioli wins the hit out. Although Springett was there. Might have been in fact Jessica it was. On her hands and knees. Getting dirty at ground level. So Ryan.
Well, Croydon North here through Zappia. Gets a tap out and she'll run onto it herself. Takes on. She's almost tackled. Gets a kick forward. Got Jeeves down there. She's got Edmondson to beat. And she'll get there first, Edmondson. Did well. Got the handball out. And her teammate is tackled. The ball spills out. Still under pressure. As Croydon North look to get an early goal, which would really stretch his margin and really test East Burwood. The kick there was smothered. And possession not taken, almost held with the ball, without the ball. Tapped towards her teammate. Handball across, cut off. And now Wilson tried to clear it out. Gretsch is going to get there first. She puts her head over the ball and earns a free kick. The kicking in danger.
That's been the difference, hasn't it?
Head over the footy and kicks it long towards her teammate. Almost taken. Slipped through her hands and now out through O'Brien. If she can get her kick, she does. Mark almost taken. And good pressure there applied. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 for the Kangas. Out of the ruck. Tapped it forward. Not far enough though. Under a lot of pressure. Need the first one. With O'Brien in and under.
So Gretsch experiencing a bit of cramp.
Undoubtedly one of the best players. Ball tapped forward and a good tackle there. And Rowland's not able to get her hands out. Get another ball up. Just 3 minutes gone in this last quarter. As we said, at Croydon North, 5-goal unanswered third quarter set this 19-point lead up and really put themselves in the driver's seat. Play on now, East Burwood. Gretsch again is probably going to be able to run onto it first. Instead it's Laurie. Gets her handball, but she's tackled and it's called for holding the ball and they'll say play on. The handball out from Gills to a teammate in Rowlands. A good kick off the boot, just right of the goal post. And we'll sneak in from behind. 5-3-33. 7-9-51, the Kangas.
She had time and space there, did Bronte Roland it was. Rollins, rather. Could have ran that all the way home. It's great. Still experiencing a bit of lower leg pain, but I think running it out's her best opportunity as she flies for this one. Off hands it spills and they'll fight for it at ground level. Going off the deck there was Jones for East Burwood. Gaining all of 5 or so metres. There's a quick kicks manufactured into the hot spot. It'll be Bronte Rollins again. So right spot, right time it was. She stands tall and takes a good overhead mark. So not wasting any time. She's sending her kick. It looks to be off target and it is. Rushed through for a minor score, so
Could be a handy point. That does bring the margin back to 17 points. Just a 3-kick game now.
So a couple of chances there for Bronte Rollins gone begging as Croydon North look to exit on this fat side of the wing. Diving on top there was the Croydon North player there, and a bit of a scrap at ground level as a free kick's been picked out. It'll go the way of East Burwood to send them back inside forward 50.
So another big chance. She'll go long towards the top of the square. And again out the back is Laurie. Didn't quite take the mark, and it's cut off now through the hands of Ruby Rock. Didn't make it. So the ball's still in play. Real dangerous spot for Croydon North. Under some pressure here. And they do well enough to create a stoppage.
So just keep an eye on Laurie there for Croydon North. They might have just parked the bus here and sent her on the last line of defence here. Zappia wins the hit out. Only as far as Rock, though acting as a goalkeeper there to defend well, was the Croydon North defender. She sends a high ball and it'll dribble out, and it'll be the last possession rule going the way of McKellar. It might be hard to sort of tell. Obstructed, views obstructed with this coach's box. So she sends it to a hot spot. Off hands it spills. Gills at ground level there. One of the 2 Gills playing today. Wrapped up there in a good tackle. A gang tackle it was, and Croydon North will be rewarded for their efforts. So Gretsch, she's open. She's got too much space to work with, and the ball will beat her. Trickle out of bounds on this broadcasting side wing, Ryan.
So East Burwood have had a few chances here in this 4th quarter. Looking for that first one to really bring this margin back. Just 3 kicks in it. So they take their time going forward. And in and under there, O'Brien had that fantastic goal down this end in the 2nd quarter. Looking to create some of that magic again. Especially if East Burwood were to come back and win from here. Tap out. Now we can get a clear possession, but the umpire's given a free kick here for East Burwood. And a chance to bring this margin back to 11 points.
So number 18
in striking range.
Not on our team sheet for East Burwood.
And the kick is out on the full, so no score. Gone 7.5 minutes into this last quarter. Thanks for joining us either on Facebook or YouTube for the Deakin University match today. It's been a classic so far. 2 Division 3 sides up towards the line. Mark not taken. And Croydon North just seem to be holding on. They've got a lot of numbers back. Gretsch tries to throw the ball in the boot, smothered. And we'll get another ball up again.
Despite the majority of the play inside East Burwood's forward half, I think Croydon North are the real winners. They've chalked off 8 minutes of the clock here.
Without giving up a goal.
And time will be a big factor in the deciding stages of this game. So here we go at ground level again. Broadcasting side wing, bodies just pile on top. As a free kick's been picked out, sort of smart by the umpire, just to create a bit more free-flowing. So inboard she goes, cutting off that diagonal ball, trying to float across there was Van der Westhuizen, although snatching it out of her hands was Bronte Rollins. And she'll drive a long ball forward. We've seen this before, and it dribbles through for a goal from 60-odd metres again. So Bronte Rollins, that's her third chance off her boot, and third time lucky.
Oh, that was incredible. Almost similar to the O'Brien goal in that second quarter. We have to say there is a wind advantage going to the right of the screen. If you can just get over the pack, it just rolls. So that's the one they need, and it brings back to 11 points. This has been an incredible game of footy. Two great sides of Division 3, 7-0 and 6-1 respectively. As the ball's tapped out by Matoli. Cut off now. Gretsch throws the ball on the boot. Gets it forward. East Burwood have got some numbers back there as they try and go forward themselves. It's cut off and it may come back this way. Good tackle. They got some numbers around the ball. The handball out from Matoli. And they go inside 50 again. Jones is there. Not going to get there though, as Croydon North just clear it out. Won't be too far though, and the ball brought back into their forward 50. Standing under it again, Natalie Laurie, she's done all morning. She kicks it into the direction of Gretsch, takes the mark.
Stop it.
And looks to be a bit sore. She just starts to limp. She's cramping. She kicks towards the wing. Mark not taken. Really well there done by Mahone, who gets it going forward, but the last possession rule will mean Croydon North will take it. And
look at this is probably as close as it's been to our side. And look at the.
And she's down again, Gretsch.
O'Shaughnessy on Zappia, not giving her an inch.
Gretsch has come off, but she's still on her knees, and we can't quite see behind the coach's box, but she does seem to be in a lot of pain there.
A world of hurt. So an 11-point lead sits the way of the Kangas here. We both tipped them at the start of the game, Ryan.
Certainly did.
Just wondering if there's some sort of cash out option on that. The ball's kicked to a hot spot again. Number 12, Nolan's there to collect. And they'll try and send it forward any way they can. Off the ground they go. Zappy's there again. O'Shaughnessy wearing her like a glove. And she's done all day, despite the three. She's kicked on her. Zappia gets the kick forward again. Her direct matchup in O'Shaughnessy is tackled with it. And she'll throw it back to the umpire. We'll have another ball up. So it sits 30 out. Left of screen for Croydon North's goal. Zappia manufactures a kick forward. It'll work out in the favour of her teammate. Number 15, Jeeves, working in tandem. Although East Burwood looked to clear through Rocket might have been Laurie. She's done it all day. She's been a stalwart defensively for this Croydon North side, doing it at both ends of the ground, it has to be said. Swung back to sort of park the bus here as a good mark's been taken by Casamento. Intercepting well. She's not a good policy. She sent it back in the direction of Laurie. And she looks to run away with it, although she's claimed by Gills. Running away with it there was Marn, it was. Thrown out there, number 13 in Mattioli, the ruckman. So, back and forth sort of play here, ping-ponging around, outside and inside. Croydon North's forward 50 here as the ball's kicked forward now. Zappia's in pursuit with O'Shaughnessy hot on her tail. She does well, Zappia. Send it forward a couple of metres as O'Brien's there. Almost misses her left foot boot as they try and fight for it at ground level. And Laurie again applies a great tackle. We'll have a ball up.
A lot of pressure here from both sides. And tap out by Matoli. It's cut off though, and the umpire's given a free kick here.
Well,
going in the direction of East Burwood. So Ruby Rock to take it. Been one of East Burwood's best, I've thought, today. Her kick down the line. Got to watch out for Laurie, who's been down there all morning stopping it. Croydon North got some numbers around the footy. And a good result, though, for East Burwood, because they'll cause a stoppage. 14 minutes gone in this final term. They trail by 11 points. Plenty of time for 2 more. As the ball's caught up.
Was a handy point.
Ball up.
Handy point you mentioned before.
Yeah, it certainly was.
And the inaccuracy of the Kangas could come back to bite them here as we tick closer to the 5-minute warning here. The last quarter of this enthralling Div 3 top of the table clash. It's the Rams hosting Croydon North. M-Lock it is. So the ball's sitting on this centre wing side. The broadcasting wing tackled there and sending it forward. Casamento there. Lands in the lap of Jones, juggling it. So she marks on the second bite. She'll send it forward. Laurie's there to contest. It sails over her head. Although she's smart enough to tap it to the advantage of her teammate. And standing there is number 18. It might have been not on our team sheet, but she's on the goal scorers list.
That's an important one. The margin back to 5 points. 7-4-46, they trailed Croydon North 7-9-51. Trent, what a game.
No, this is shaping up to have a mouth-watering finish here.
We have mentioned before on the podcast that this potentially could be the grand final preview, and they're showing us why today. Both sides played some really quality football.
And it's the big names stepping up for either side. We mentioned there, number 18, not on our team sheet. Apologise for that.
She's had a good
couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It has to be said. There's an
free kick going East Burwood's way.
6-6 rule, Ryan.
So now through Matoli, they'll get another chance. The kick again cut off by Laurie, who's just got to be about up to 15 marks, I reckon. She's had a phenomenal day. She goes wide towards the wing, looking for her teammate. She finds one, kicking the ball forward, and is cut off. And East Burwood now again with a chance through Matoli. She just goes long down the line. Laurie's there. She contests with Ruby Rock. Gets it to ground. Ruby Rock, the handball. Just trying to get anything going forward. They do. That's Rock there fighting for the ball. Rowlands is there if she can get a handball out. Instead there'll be a ball up.
And Laurie's down behind play here. We mentioned Gretsch.
Yep. Who's just entered the field.
Just entered the field. Okay, so she's just run on it at her will. Not sure anyone came off for her, but
16.5 minutes gone, we have to say. So not long left, but
Laurie looks
only
okay
5
now.
points the margin. As there she is, just tries to burst through a pack. She's caught with the ball for a ball up.
And don't worry, Laurie is okay.
Yep, that's good to hear. That two of the absolute stars who've had phenomenal games today. They look to clear on the far side, kicked forward, just into space. East Burwood will be the first one to clear through O'Brien. She's caught with the ball, and now Croydon North have their chance of going forward. Tackled by O'Brien. And we'll get another ball up. 17.5 minutes gone in this final term.
Just scanning into Croydon North's forward 50, and they've isolated Jeeves on her own, so they like that one-on-one matchup to Croydon North. There's a clash of heads with Graves there. All looks to be well. Sort of friendly fire it was. So Zapier to contest in the ruck again. The ball just bubbling about. All sorts of hands trying to tap it forward. There's number 18, the previous goal kicker. Her kick forward smothered. And at the bottom of the pack is Marn, tackled on that covered synthetic pitch area. So the rucks go at it again. It's been a fascinating watch, that one. So 7-4-46 plays the Kangas, 7-9-51. 5 points split these two sides. 1 and 2 on the ladder it is. As we tick under 90 seconds to go, Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. A
Take
minute
it
30
away.
left on the clock. 5 points to margin. East Burwood try and just get going forward. Here's Ruby Rock almost pushing the back. And umpire has given a free kick here. I think it's high. So East Burwood will get a free kick here.
So it was the out of position
Yep.
umpire.
So Ruby Rock plays on immediately, goes forward, up to the hot spot. Can they get a mark? Oh, standing in the pack is once
Leo
against
Barry,
Natalie Laurie.
Leo Barry like it was Laurie. Sorry to cut you off there.
Incredible display. Oh, she deserves the woman of the match if they get over the line. She's just been phenomenal down there. But still not over. Got 40 seconds left as Gretsch just kicks the ball forward. If they get a mark, they can really run some time off the clock. As they go forward, mark almost taken by G's. The kick forward, 25 seconds left on the clock. East Burwood. A good tackle there, that's holding the ball. They're running out of time though. 15 seconds left, they've got to move quickly. They trail by 5 points. They may just run out of time. They go towards the line and standing under it, once again, Gretsch. And we'll run these last few seconds off the clock. This is an incredible win by the Kangaroos. They win by 5 points. East Burwood's first loss of the season. 7-9-51 to 7-4-46. An incredible game of footy. And the Kangaroos have done it. And look at the celebrations there.
They're ecstatic.
This has been an incredible game.
It has.
The top of the ladder clash.
Feel privileged to sit here and watch a good display of the Deakin Uni women's footy this morning here at East Burwood Reserve. A hard-fought contest, and these Croydon North running out winners, the Kangas, so they bounce clear at the top of the ladder, Div 3.
They will take top spot, and I know you do have to run in a second, so we will wrap this up quite quickly, but have to mention, just some of these players from Croydon North who stood up. For me, the 3 votes, Natalie Laurie, I thought just even in that first half, she probably had about 8 or 9 inset marks early on in the game. And
were you counting, were you?
No, I wasn't, but I've lost count. She would have had close to 20 almost. That last big mark again when East Burwood came forward, as you said, Leo Barry sort of style. Really well done, and I think she was probably best on. Brittany Gretsch was incredible, especially in that third quarter where she kicked 2 of her own and can't go past Gabrielle Zapier as well, who ended up with 3 and played an important role for Croydon North.
It seemed fitting that Gretsch was the one that ended up with it.
Yep.
That last mark, sort of sealing the game in the end, no doubt. But no, kudos to East Burwood. They put up a good fight at home, and
both sides should be proud.
And in the fight M&D sort of round, it seemed fitting that they did fight to the end, and they weren't at all concerned with a 19-point that they trailed heading into that last quarter.
Can say now, I'm very excited for where this final series will go, because even if it's not a grand final, these 2 teams will meet in finals. They'll both be there. I think it'll be a grand final. I think this was a grand final preview, and they're 1-1 now against each other. Both have shown that they can, really compete the top level. So it's going to be a fantastic contest.
And the grand final will be played at a neutral ground.
Yes, it will be a neutral ground. So no advantage either way. But I think that's probably it for us, Trent.
That'll do us here on the EFNL coverage of this match of the round. It was the Deakin Uni Div 3 contest between East Burwood and Croydon North. You heard Croydon North running out 5-point winners to maintain top spot on the Div 3 ladder. You've heard the voice of Ryan Long. You'll hear him later today on special comments. You'll be sick of him by the end of the day. But,
you'll be tuning me off. But
there's a mute button there if you need. Thanks for joining us anyway. Appreciate your company, and we'll see you next Saturday.